Bull or bear tonight? Ooh, let's see here. What's the coin thing? Well, the coin's flipping on a bear. I mean, no, I'm sorry, a bull. Sorry about that. Good evening. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals and Concierge Bullion Services. Picking up my coin there, dropped it on the floor. My lucky coin. Got the live Deerfield cam up just a few minutes ago. I saw, like, man, a school of snook right through here. Nice little school of snook, and if you're a South Florida fishing person, you know that snook is on the top of the game list down here. People love to catch those. For the number one reason is they put up a wonderful fight. Number two reason is, for me, is that you get them in the slot sizes. They are a tasty fish, and I am all about eating the fish that I catch. I know, shame on me perhaps, not the trophy kind of guy. I do catch and release stuff that you can't eat, but if I can eat the damn fish, I'm going to do it. I'm not. Okay, and that includes sailfish, man. I'm dying to have a smoked sailfish one day. Some of you fishermen out there might go, God, he just said that, really? Yeah, you know, I'm a meat guy. I'm a meat fisher. If I'm going to catch something and put it through that misery and I can eat it, I'm going to. Oh my gosh, speaking of misery, look at that fish. He just had a half of his tail bit off there. All right, we're not here to talk about the Deerfield live cam or my fishing desires to eat the fish that I catch. What we are here to talk about is precious metals. And, you know, I like this saying, by the way. Love is that condition in which the happiness of another person is essential to your own. And this is a quote that you either get it, or you just kind of don't get it. And when you get it, you understand that you understand this quote, really. You really do, because happiness is derived from seeing happiness of the people that you really, really care about, you know, and it puts a smile on your face, and that's really the important things of life, because love is that condition in which the happiness of another person is essential to your own. And it's kind of a circular thing that goes around. I know, you know, where what you put out, you often get back, and it's not always. It's not always, but anyway, great quote. Just kind of wanted to give a little bit different quote tonight, and I thought this was a good one. Let's take a look at the spot prices here. Up today overall. The coin did say a bull yesterday, and that's what we've got here today. 1792 currently. Went above that 1800 mark. I saw it this morning through my arms. It said, woohoo, 1807.73, and silver at that high mark of 20.86 today, and platinum just kind of range bound in that mid $900, you know, that mid 900 range, you know, 940, 950, right in that area. So, you know, I think we are pretty much going to handily bust through that $1,800 mark. I mean, could we see a sudden knockdown of everything? I kind of doubt it. I'm just not feeling it. I think at the worst case scenario, we are in the rinse and repeat cycle of the crooked COMEX market, where they take the price down, then they drive it back up, and they drive it back down. And I'm talking about the big commercial short positions that do this to the managed money long positions out there, or the managed money shorts, whatever the heck it is. But in the COMEX markets, in the CRIMEX markets, is where the price discovery happens. So, I mean, are they going to take it up $5 as far as the price of silver and go flush it again? That's possible. You know, you cannot forget, and a lot of people point this out. Ted Butler points this out, that it doesn't matter what, you know, the above ground fundamentals mean. I mean, or the available silver, or the supply and demand factors are. What has mattered for a long time is these huge COMEX short and long positions that have kind of gone back and forth in a collusive type behavior, at least with the commercial shorts. And this is what creates the price discovery in the gold and silver markets, not supply and demand. Absolutely not supply and demand. It's just these big commercial shorts that go in there and drive these markets, and particularly in silver, up and down. $5, $25, $20, $30, $25, $35, $30. You know, you kind of get the point what I'm talking about here. And is that going to continue to happen? there's a lot of evidence that Ted Butler and a lot of these guys are pointing to. These guys that read the COT reports understand these things very, very well. And, like Ted Butler, they believe that at some point that the big commercial shorts are going to let go and going to let it go to the upside. Is this the time when it's going to happen? Are we going to shoot up to 25 and then see it go beyond that to 30? Tough to say, but I think we are right now in the stage of these crooked Crimex markets. We're in the upward trend to at least maybe 25 bucks an ounce. It seems $5 is like the range that they like to run in as of late. So we're at least running into that $25 range. Will they flush it from there? Tough to say. Maybe unlikely. And I'll be the first to let you know from what I can read out there. From a it's hard to read these COT reports. There's very few people out there that can wrap their mind around these things. And again, it's not rocket science, but it's not something that most people are going to go out and learn to read these reports. And there's people out there, like I said, like Ted Butler and a lot of these. I always point to Ted Butler when it comes to silver because, again, I really sincerely believe that he's probably one of the brightest minds out there when it comes to how these Crimex markets are manipulated. And Mr. Butler truly believes that they do flush it. They do this rinse and repeat cycle where they flush out these managed money positions, and then the commercials kind of buy back in and get it low. They run it back up again. Rinse and repeat, as you've heard me use the term many times. Is this a rinse and repeat of $20 to $25 silver? Perhaps it is, but no less. It looks like we're going to run back up to that $25 level. Will they? Because of the reports, I think it's going to be a little bit easier to see if they're going to add to these short positions or if they're going to try to cap the price of silver at 25 bucks. And of course, guys like Ted Butler will let us know about this kind of stuff. This is why I always recommend that you read Ted Butler's stuff, or you actually subscribe to his website, which is Butler Research. Well, anyways, and a lot of other silver guys talk about this stuff too. When it comes to gold, it's a very similar situation. It's a rinse and repeat situation, but the gold prices aren't really set. Not most of the world's gold price discovery and price or business is done in the COMEX markets. It's done globally, unlike silver, which is the price discovery is primarily determined in the CRIMEX markets. That's because it's a fairly small market, and that's where it happens. Gold markets are kind of a little bit wider and varied. They happen in China, it happens in Russia. So the price discovery for gold is a little bit probably harder for commercial banks in the United States to manipulate. I don't think commercial banks are really capable of completely manipulating the price of gold just because of how big the gold market is. But silver market, they absolutely do, and other markets I'm sure they do as well. What are we doing talking about this? This is stuff that we all know already. I want to get into the meat of today's conversation, which is not prices. We can all see these same prices. We can all watch these 24-hour graphs. Kind of interesting spike there you can see in the New York CRIMEX markets where gold kind of spiked from 1790 to 1807, then back down to 1795. What the F is that? Same thing with silver. Look, the identical spike, but not quite as large here on this chart. But again, same thing. Look, about the same time, boom, boom, and then back up. And then silver kind of wafting around to the upside as well in the CRIMEX markets. But remember, on whether it's manipulated down, whether it's manipulated up, this is a market that is definitely manipulated, and definitely, especially with silver right here, definitely manipulation happens in the CRIMEX, CME Group's CRIMEX casino. Everyone loves to whine when the prices are down, but when prices start going up, everyone forgets about this manipulation. But listen, folks, even when prices are going up, when you see silver skyrocketing, $5, $10, you got to wonder and ask yourself, when are one of these crooked mother effers going to step in and cap it, or when, So, but it's true. I think as long as the CME Group has control over the price discovery for silver, and as long as the CME Group is never held accountable for, or never ends this type of manipulation that's seen in these markets, it's just going to continue to happen in the future over and over. The good side is it seems to happen in $5 increments, say $5 up, $5 down. Again, remember, $1 to $5 silver, $5 to $10 silver, $10 to $15 silver, $15 to $20 silver. It seems like these incrementals period over time, $5 moves up and down, up and down, up and down. Again, which we find out is merely caused by large commercial banks with too much money that can move around a small market like silver and manipulate the hell out of it, and make a lot of money doing it. And why would CME Group and the Crimex never complain about it? Because they're like the bookies. They get the big. Why would they complain about the big whales moving the markets, whether they're up to the upside or downside, regardless of who they're cheating? They're making a vig on it. So, you know, as long as price discovery is held, is done in the CME Group, I don't think any commodity is safe. All right, let me get out of that. That's just a giant rabbit hole I'm going to move into. And I want to talk about another thing that I'm just, tired of hearing about as well. Oh boy, tired of hearing about, tired of talking about, which is using silver and gold for barter. The idea that 90% constitutional silver like this, and I'm not pointing to any particular videos here, I'm not pointing fingers, but that the idea of that the reason that you want to own US 90% silver coin, constitutional silver, the reason that you want to own silver eagles is because of potential barter situations where when the world currencies go to shit, US dollar goes to shit, fiat, digital, whatever it may be. We're living in the Kevin Costner apocalyptic, what is it? Oh my gosh, I was trying to think of that guy, Mel, whatever his name. The apocalyptic times, anyway, that you're going to be able to take your silver eagles and your silver dimes and your silver quarters, constitutional quarters, and go out and barter and buy bread or buy food with it. It's just ludicrous, folks. It's absolutely ludicrous because let me tell you the primary reason why it's ludicrous. It never even really happened any time in the history of the last couple hundred years that I'm aware of. I mean, there may have been some barter. I mean, I can't say that the local pawn shops or the local dealers didn't barter with people for gold and silver coin. Well, gold and silver was legal tender back then, but let me talk about maybe in the last 100 years, and even during the war times, World War I and World War II, barter, even in the hyperinflationary times of Germany, World War I, World War II, the whole bad times during that era. Germans really didn't take their gold and silver and go trade bread or anything like that. They didn't go to the local bread guy or the local supermarket, the local meat guy and say, here's a little bit of gold, here's a little bit of silver. Please, here, I'm going to trade you for some meat or trade you for this. Didn't happen, man. You know what the Germans did, and you know what a lot of people did at that time? They took their gold and silver, they went and they cashed it in for more of the current fiat currencies at that time, overinflated fiat currencies at that time, sold the gold for currency, and then they quickly took that currency and they quickly spent it amongst the masses, and that would include the local bread guy, the local meat guy, and all that stuff. The idea that people are going to be trading amongst themselves, and I'm not saying that barter can't happen. Barter is pretty common out there in this world today. There's people out there that barter gold and silver for collectibles or for whatever. We barter here in the store. I trade gold and silver for collectibles or whatever. So I mean, there's a barter to a certain extent. But do you really think that the average Joe, the millions and millions of people in the United States, if the currency went to hell, not went to hell, but are going to be able to tell what a real gold or silver coin looks like, what a real constitutional dime looks like? No. You know what most people know and are familiar with every day is they're holding a dollar bill in their hand or a credit card with a number where they don't even have to learn what a dollar bill looks like, a real dollar looks like. But people are used to handling currency. We've been raised as children. We know what a dollar bill looks like. We know what it feels like. There's certain security features built into that where, how many times have you seen a counterfeit bill in your hand? And there's probably been very few in your hand. You know why that is? Because you've been so trained, you've had so many bills go through your hand, you know what they look like. But do you think if the world economy blew apart that any generation, even the older generation, well, myself and the older generation, people my age and older would, people in their middle ages and older might be able to tell what real gold and silver coins look like. But I'm telling you, the younger generation has no clue. They couldn't barter shit. And again, to give a similar time in history, World War I, World War II, nobody was trading their gold bars for bread or whatever, for the most part. And I won't say nobody, that's a very too broad of a statement to say, but very few people were, very few people. It was an odd incident if someone traded gold or silver, non-coinage for food or whatever it may be, in major cities in Germany or UK or France during World War I or World War II. And it's not going to happen here either. So, you know, the idea of paying the extra premium for 90% silver, for silver eagles, because you might be able to barter them, which is, I hear that from people today over and over, is nonsense. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. What you really want to do is, you want to own gold and silver, but you don't want to pay a large premium for it. Again, I love silver eagles. I love 90% silver. I've been dealing in it for a long time. But the idea that you should pay a large premium for it because, oh, I might need to trade this for food, or I might need to trade, it's just total bullshit. You're never going to use it for barter. You're never going to use it for trade, in the sense that you're going to trade, again, this piece of silver to a merchant for a piece of product. It's just very unlikely to happen. The reason you do want to buy silver and gold, is not for barter. Okay, this is why I'm always preaching that you should buy the lowest premium stuff that you can when it comes to silver and gold. But what you're going to do is, it's going to be a hedge against the falling dollar. And when you want to go buy food in a bad environment, in a semi-apocalyptic environment, like Nigeria and these other countries had, and like even Germany had, when they had, you know, a mark, you know, at one point maybe a couple marks would buy you a loaf of bread and something to eat, and then be German in the inflationary times, all of a sudden a mark wouldn't buy you anything. It took 1 million marks to buy a loaf of bread. Then all of a sudden it took 50 million marks, 100 million marks, a wheelbarrow full of marks to buy a loaf of bread. It still was currency that was traded for that bread. It was a wheelbarrow full of freaking marks. And where did that wheelbarrow full of marks come from that people were able to eat at the time? It came from gold or silver or other assets like that, where they were able to take their gold and silver, go to a gold and silver dealer or someone that was dealing in gold and silver and was willing to trade gold and silver for fiat currency. They sold their gold in Germany during the inflationary times, during the war, World War II, for a wheelbarrow full of marks, which they went and used to buy food. And they're better off for that too, as well. If they had just saved all those marks over all those years, that would have been worthless. And again, I hope you get that analogy. The idea of using silver or gold for barter, I would love to have a debate with pretty much anyone out there. If there's any YouTube talking heads that would love to, would like to debate me on this, why I don't think we're going to ever, it's highly unlikely we will ever see a barter situation for gold and silver, where you've got to trade your gold and silver for food or products or services. You don't want to say have to, when you have to, when a large majority of the population has to. It's just not going to happen. All right, anyways, I'm going to leave that one alone. And again, this is a good reason why not to pay high premiums for 90% silver, for silver eagles, for U.S. gold pieces, especially certified gold, which is a bunch of crap. Don't be paying stupid prices for certified gold coins. You just don't need to do that. There's a place for certification, but it's not in bullion coins. It's not in common date U.S. gold coins. And if you want to speak to me about that, call me anytime at Commercial Rare Coins and or Concierge Bullion Services if you're buying more than 100 gold coins. All right, that was a shameless plug by me. What are the best deals out there? I was going to bring this up here. The best deals out there are certainly not, well, let's see what the best deals are. The best deals out there are gold bars. I'm going to type in gold bars here, just to give you a visual here. Gold bars, and let's go to images here. I'm sure the kilos and the larger bars are the best deal out there for people buying that amounts. If you're not buying kilos and you're not buying 100-ounce gold bars or whatever gram gold bars they are in the larger sizes, the best deals out there are 1-ounce gold bars, Valcambis and stuff. You can pick them up for spot plus $80 from us or less, depending on the quantity that you're buying. As far as sovereign products, what are the next best deal out there? Let me take a look here. Krugerrands. Spot plus 95 bucks or less, depending on the quantity that you're buying from us. And that's our company. I know that we are cheaper than Atmex, SD, and J and Bullion for most products here. And I'm just quoting you our small quantity discounts, or our small quantity prices here. As far as maple leafs, if you can pick up 3.9 maple leafs, they're a little bit cheaper, but not much. 10 bucks cheaper than the 4.9 maples. But it's hard to find 3.9 maples out there right now in any kind of quantities. Gold maple leafs 4.9s. Let me do a calculator here. What are those things? We got them for 103 bucks and up. Again, that's our small quantity price, and again, larger quantities you can pay less. Your local dealer should be able to match the prices that I just quoted as well. But overall, the best deal out there is still gold bars, folks. 1 ounce gold bars, and kilos, obviously, and larger gold bars for the folks that spend that kind of money. What's the best deal out there for silver is the same thing. It's silver bars. And in fact, it is actually silver kilo bars. I'm going to type that in to give you a visual as well. We have kilo bars here at spot plus $3 in small quantities. Larger quantities, you can pay less for that. And again, you know, the more you buy, the cheaper the price gets. And as you notice with Atmex, JM, and SD Bullion, that's pretty much the same thing with them. And as you know, we at Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals here, another shameless plug, folks, and Concierge Bullion Services will beat those 3 big online guys, and we'll beat the other guys out there that advertise and sell gold and silver products. We'll get to that in a little bit, where to call if you do want to buy gold and silver from us. Meanwhile, silver is still the best deal out there as the bars, kilo bars. I think 100-ounce bars are a little more expensive. And recently I have heard that the price of 1,000-ounce bars has gone up a little bit, which is kind of unusual. Usually 1,000-ounce bars, unless there's a big demand for physical silver, the premiums don't go up too much. But it looks like the price, you know, the buy and the sell price on 1,000-ounce bars or large bars like that have and are starting to go up once again, which tells me that there is big demand out there for physical silver products. And you know, you want to know if there's a big demand for physical retail silver, physical silver overall. The 1,000-ounce bar is the real canary in the gold mine, you know, when it comes to prices. When you start to see 1,000-ounce bar prices go up, you know that there's a demand for silver for sure. 10-ounce bars, 1-ounce bars, kilos, and smaller things like that, you know, they're harder to make, and obviously they're harder to make. You know, it's much tougher to make 1,000 1-ounce rounds than it is to make one poured 1,000-ounce bar, or thereabouts 1,000 ounces. You get what I'm talking about. Well, let's take a look at yesterday's video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching Brian Reacts to Precious Metals. It was a reaction video. God, I got to admit, I hate to do populist things, but I saw a couple of YouTube videos I wanted to mention, both done by very smart and good YouTube people that I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos on gold and silver and precious metals or coins and stuff, but the few that I've seen, these two gentlemen that I talked about in yesterday's video do really nice videos. So what are we going to talk about? Not too much tonight, folks. Not too much in comments. I'd like to thank everyone here for watching and everyone for their comments here. And let's see here if I can see anything to answer specifically. Nope, not tonight. And it looks like a bull here. We're going to have a bull market here tomorrow, or coming up here soon. Let's see where they cap the prices, and or if they even do. All right, that's it. I'm calling it quits. Going to grab a bite to eat here. Think for yourself. Question authority, folks. Thanks for watching. This is Brian Kuzmar with Concierge Bullion Services. If you're buying more than 2,500 ounces of silver, more than 100 ounces of gold, give us a call at Concierge Bullion Services. There's our phone number down here, and our website, of course, is conciergebullion.com. We can be reached at this number at any time. And if you live in South Florida, please come by and see us at Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. This is our brick and mortar. You can walk in and buy any quantity of silver from 1 ounce to 1,000,000 ounces. I mean, if I can source it for you. And well, that's a tough question right now, but I think we can. But no less, this is our brick and mortar store here in South Florida. We're open 10 to 4 Monday through Friday, same location since 1995. We also do rare coins and other cool stuff too. We also own Antiques and Jewelry by the Sea. Blah, 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 blah. I'll let you go because we can talk about this stuff tomorrow. Hey, thanks for watching. Have yourself a good evening. And again, talk to you tomorrow. Good night.